Hello! Today we will study cells and tissues of the human body. It is well known that the human organism is multicellular, and the basic unit of its structure and functioning is a cell, the smallest biological system capable of self-reproduction and development. It consists of many interconnected elements, the functioning of which not only determines the vital activity of the cell, but also has importance for the organism as a whole. Tap on the cell. The first thing you see is the cell membrane. It is the outer shell of the cell that separates its contents from the environment. The cell membrane is a semi-permeable barrier that selectively allows molecules to enter and exit the cell. Next come the organelles. The endoplasmic reticulum is a series of flattened sacs, bubbles, and tubules. It synthesizes and transports organic substances. This organelle can be a smooth one without ribosomes, or a rough one with ribosomes. Golgi apparatus is a system of parallel and flattened cisternae and tubules that modifies and sorts the molecules formed in the cell, packing them in vesicles surrounded by a membrane. Lysosomes are organelles that contain enzymes for the intracellular digestion of molecules, waste products, and old organelles. They are also used for destruction of pathogenic microorganisms and as the supply of nutrients to cells. Mitochondria, also known as the energy stations of the cell, convert nutrient molecules into energy in the form of ATP. Centrosome is the main microtubule organizing center and regulator of the cell cycle passage. It consists of two centrioles. In the human body, as well as in animals, there are four main types of tissue: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. The cells that make up each type are specialized to perform certain functions. Now we begin to study cells in a tissue. These are bone cells. Click to learn more. Osteocytes are the main cells of a bone. The bodies of osteocytes are located in the cavities of the main substance of the bone, which are called lacunae, and their long processes are located in the tubules branching off the lacunae. Osteoblasts are young cells of bone tissue. In the already formed bone, they can be found only in the areas of destruction and restoration of bone tissue. Gradually, osteoblasts differentiate into osteocytes, while the number of organelles in the cell decreases. The intercellular substance, which is formed by osteoblasts, walls the cell from all sides and is permeated with calcium salts. Osteoclasts are large multinucleated cells that destroy bone and cartilage. Cartilage tissue is subject to the process of destruction, absorption, and bone tissue is formed instead of it, with the aid of osteoblasts. This process can proceed both from the surface of the cartilage, from its outer shell, perichondrium, which later turns into the periosteum, and inside of it. Blood tissue. Click to view. Erythrocytes are small anucleated red blood cells whose function is to transport oxygen and partially carbon dioxide. Thrombocytes, or blood platelets, are non-nuclear fragments of blood cells. Their main function is blood clotting, the body's protective reaction to damage and prevention of blood loss. Leukocytes are a heterogeneous form of colorless blood cells that consist of cytoplasm and a nucleus. They are formed in the red bone marrow. Leukocytes perform protective, excretory, and nutritional functions. Next come the most active cells, muscle cells. Myocytes are a special type of cell that make up the main part of muscle tissue. Myocytes are long, elongated cells that develop from precursor cells, myoblasts. There are several types of myocytes. Myocytes of the cardiac muscle, cardiomyocytes, skeletal and smooth muscles. Each of these types has special properties. For example, cardiomyocytes, among other things, generate electrical impulses that determine the heart's rhythm. Cardiomyocytes are cells of cardiac striated muscle tissue. The cells are rectangular and have one or two nuclei located in the center of the cell. Cells have organelles of special purpose, myofibrils, and general purpose. Myocytes and cardiomyocytes have the same cell structure. Adipose tissue cell is called adipocyte. Adipocytes are capable of storing fat. They store energy as an insulating layer of fat, and most of the cell volume is occupied by a large lipid droplet, either fat or oil. Yet another interesting image. You can see flat cells from the surface of the skin. These are keratinized dead cells that continuously slide off and are replaced by new cells from below. These are nerve cells. Nerve cells, or neurons, are connected by processes and conduct a nerve signal. These are endothelial cells. Endothelial cells form the inner layer of cells and line the capillaries, blood vessels, heart, and brain. This is a layer of flat, elongated polygonal cells with uneven wavy edges. Sex cells, or gametes, ensure sexual reproduction. You can see an ovum, female gamete, surrounded by spermatoza, male gamete. The body of an adult consists of about 100 trillion cells. All of them ensure their own functioning, produce organic substances, use energy, interact with other cells, etc. In addition, cells work to ensure the functioning of a whole organism. For example, blood cells transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. Scientists have grouped them into about 200 types. Each of them is characterized by performing a certain function, as you have just seen.